Hi, guys. Welcome to Revival Fire Online. This is Apostle Marsha Pedro. Thank you for joining me this evening. If you're on the replay, thank you for joining me and allow me to come into your live, coming to your, um, your living room, your car, your office spaces, wherever you are, and sit back, relax, enjoy what God is saying to you this evening. Welcome, Lola. Welcome in this evening. Thank you for joining us. I see Crystal is here. Hi, Crystal. Thank you for coming in. I see you all are just why don't you go ahead and just like and share this broadcast? You all can go ahead and like and share. I'm speaking today about alignment for your assignment, being aligned for what you are called to do your assignment. Have you ever wondered, hey, what was I called to do? And then there are some of us, we know what we're called to do, but we do not know if we're in the right place, the right position, have the right attitude, the right posture. And that is something that is really, really important in this time and in this season, because there is such a spirit of acceleration, but there's also a time of grounding in the world. We are being grounded, we are being sifted, we're being shifted, we're being doing. There's so much that is happening with respect to depth and fortitude. So you can go ahead and like and share this. If you are on YouTube, why don't you subscribe to our channel and press that notification button? You will get content every single week. Let's see who's in. As soon as I get the comments here, let's see who's in this evening. Do we have anyone? Hi, Renetta. Hi, Ree. Hi, Rihanna, that is Shamaya. I don't know how you are on, but thank you for being on. Um, okay, Anita, nice to have you, my dear. Nadi, nice to have you. Go ahead, like and share. God is speaking to us. He's always speaking to us, and He's waiting for us to respond. He's waiting. I sat preparing the message, and God spoke to me, and I said, God, what do you want? And I know that He wanted us to speak about our assignment. He wanted me to speak about our alignment. He wanted me to speak about purpose. But I said, God, give me the scripture. Give me the scope. Give me what do you want me to tell them? Have a conversation with me. And I always made a promise. Whatever God says to me, I will say to the world. And I have something that I wanna he say, she say. And in the Caribbean culture, he say, she say is usually something that is gossip, is something negative. But I want to start saying what he says. He says, meaning God, and she says, I will say it. So and I want the world to share what the he say, she say that I will communicate. And you know what God said to me? He said, this week the world witnessed a solar eclipse. How many of you witnessed? Now, some of you may have witnessed it in real life, but some of you may have witnessed it, may have looked at it on Facebook Live. You may have looked at it on whatever else, whatever YouTube, whatever social media platform. But the world witnessed a solar eclipse. The world witnessed, and don't please don't beat me for the science if I don't have everything accurate, right? But I understand the principle of what happened. In my part of the world we did not see it, but I looked at it on social media for a little bit. I looked at all the people with their cool sunglasses, and I looked, at people do very, I guess, high emotionally driven things. Many things, they were together in families, they were in droves, they gathered, they did whatever, they hugged, they prayed, I guess some prayed. But I just stood in awe of the wonder of God. The whole eclipse scenario, it's something that you just stand in awe of the wonder of God. God just crafted the science of the earth and the planet so skillfully. He made everything so skillfully that we would never collide. We never collide. God made it. And you don't it's not like the airports authority, the the airport steward had saying, okay, flight number A123 you can go, and flight number BW568 you hold on, you have to circle. The Earth is not like that. The galaxy is not like that. The solar system is not like that. The planets are not like that. Gravity is not like that. And I just stood in awe of God. He crafted the science of the Earth and the planets so skillfully that we would never ever collide. But one day in 2024, and this is so cool, one day in 2024, the moon would pass between the sun and the earth. And in perfect alignment, it would be in perfect alignment, and then it would block off the light of the sun, causing a darkness on the earth. At least that's my understanding of it, okay? There was a darkness on the earth, not all parts of the earth, but there was a darkness, and it was because the moon passed between the sun and the earth. Now, and this thing that happened for 4.5 minutes, and the whole earth stopped. The whole world stopped. Well, most of the world stopped. We stopped, or most of us were conscious. We were aware of it. And God spoke to me about this. And no, I'm not going to speak about the eclipse. That's not my assignment, but I'm speaking to you about being aligned for your assignment. God spoke to me about this, and he said, Marsha, the world waited to see if 4.5 minutes of darkness caused by the alignment of some things that I just spoke into existence. And understand, when I say children of God, people of God, I refer to all of us. We were created. God said, let there be humans, let there be man, and there was man. And God said, the whole world waited to see 4.5 minutes of darkness caused by the alignment of things that I just spoke into existence. God just said, let there be sun, let there be Jupiter, let there be Mars. He actually just said, let there be there be a separation, let there be whatever, planets, whatever. And there was. He did not take that time to detail and breathe into the planets as he did breathe life into us. And he said, the world waited, the whole world, they were just waiting for 4.5 minutes of this wow, this awe. He said, think about how much heaven is waiting for my people to align and do what I have called them to do. Think about it. Think about it, Dylan. Think about it, Khadijah. Think about it. God is waiting for us to align and come into place. And not just God, heaven is waiting for us to align, because we have an assignment on this earth. So I just want to go through some thoughts with you, some explanations with you. And I know some of you're in a season right now where you do not know, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Am I aligned? Am I not aligned? Have I gone off course? Have I been doing my own thing? Or um how much longer? How much longer will it be for me to see results? That's something I love. I love to measure things by time. And those of you who know me, I'm always wearing a watch. I remember from the time I was a child, I learned to tell time maybe when I was in standard one. So that would have been maybe 7 or so. And I would sleep with a watch. I literally had the watch print on my hand when I was a child. And I love to tell time. I love to measure time. And there's some of you, you're measuring time, and you're thinking, hey, time is running out. And I am not doing the thing that God has called me to do. And that's so not true. That's so not true. There must be perfect alignment with your assignment, alignment to manifest your assignment. And we know the scripture, Romans verse 8, chapter 8, verses 9 to 23. For the whole creation awaits eagerly for the children of God to be revealed. For the creation was subjected to frustration and futility, not willingly, but by the will of him who subjected it, in hope that the creation itself will also be freed from its bondage to decay into the glorious freedom of the children of God. We can only be revealed when we are rightly aligned to execute our assignment. We can only be revealed. We can only come up to that place. And listen to me, I'm speaking not from a place of being above you or below you. I'm speaking from a place of being right alongside you. My purpose and my destiny is still being revealed. I'm still adjusting, and I'm still realigning, and I'm still aligning to that place, to perfectly manifest my assignment. Many of us are frustrated because we either do not understand our assignment, or we are not in right alignment. We do not understand our assignment, or we're not in right alignment. And that's really, really, really important. For many, many, many years of my life, I did not understand my assignment. And one of the I think one of the calls on my life, and one of the passion on my heart, is to help people get onto that path, and to sometimes redirect people with respect to, hey, where do you need to go, and what do you need to do with respect to accomplishing the assignment that God has on your life. I want to first define the key words: alignment and assignment. And that's really important, because there are many times we think alignment is just being under, or alignment is giving money to, or alignment is just having a conversation. Alignment is just, listen, alignment is so much more than what we may understand and what we may interpret. Alignment. Now I'll give you the dictionary meaning first, and then I'll give you my personal definition, and I'll tell you, um listen, when there's some of you out there, you're having so much resistance in everything you try to do, just stop, spend some time with God, and start over. And when you start over, do it His way. Whatever He tells you to do, do it His way. So alignment, according to the dictionary, is arrangement in a straight line or in a correct relative position. It's in either in a straight line, or it's in your correct position, correct relative position. So I think when we do exercises, or when we do squats or whatever, your hip and your whatever has to be aligned, and you squat and you make sure your back is straight. That's alignment. You need to have good posture, and your knees need to be behind your toes, right? And you stand and you do it as if you are sitting on a chair. So that's alignment. That's what alignment naturally is. But my personal definition would be that alignment is the right positioning of an individual so that they can maximize their potential and effectiveness in the kingdom. It's the right positioning of an individual so that they can maximize their potential and effectiveness in the kingdom. I started doing this a couple days ago, and I stopped, and I did some yesterday, and the temperature was so hot I stopped, and I came back again today, and I was finishing up, and I felt the same anointing when I got to this point. I felt the same purpose. I felt the same season in my life. I felt the same thrust, that this is the thing I was called to do, and I was called to do at this minute: speak about alignment. And I feel so passionately about alignment that God has been aligning and realigning and straightening, and breaking some bones, and some hearts, and some dreams, and making them back again in my life. Alignment is a place, is the right position of an individual so they can maximize their potential and effectiveness in the kingdom. It is a place where they are fueled by the right mentoring. Yeah, that's alignment. You're fueled by the right mentoring. You're fueled by the right counsel, and you're fueled by your community. The right mentoring, the right counsel and community. It is a place where they find themselves. So you find yourself. So when you are in alignment, you're finding yourself. So many times we wake up and say, wow, I didn't know that I was double jointed. Yes, you are double jointed. And then we say, okay, many times we say things like, oh wow, I didn't realize I was double jointed. And then we say, okay, I've wasted 45 years of my life. I didn't know I was double jointed. No, that's the mistake we make. We find out something about ourselves That's just information God has allowed us to get. We find out we're short-sighted. Um, we find out we like bananas and we don't like plantains, or something. We find out, and what do? We start crying about the past, but we don't focus on the present. God gave me this information. What do I do with it? Where do I go with this? You understand? Um, we find ourselves. We execute tasks. We are assessed. Here's another part of when you're correctly aligned. We fall. You can be correctly aligned and fall. We take correction and we continue in love and learning. I want to repeat that. It is a place where we find ourselves, we execute tasks, we are assessed, we fall, we take correction, and we continue in love and learning. It does not matter where you are. You could be in prison and you can be aligned under a mentor who's outside of prison, and you will be aligned. You can be in Trinidad, or you can be in the US of A, and you're aligned under a course that says University of Newfoundland. I don't know if there's one of those, but and you're aligned with that university. You're doing the assignments, you're getting the coaching, you're going to get the accreditation, you're going to get the certification. Actually, you're going to get, because you are rightly aligned. Alignment is a place of surrender. It's a place of silent observation. It's a place of contemplation. And it's a place of awestruck encounters with the presence of God. And it's a place of activation. Hi, Caesar. Hi, Charmaine. Hi, Shariza. It's a place of surrender. If you are in a place of surrender and giving it all up, you are aligned. It's if you feel as if God is saying, I just give it up, Marsha. Just give it up, Caesar. Just give it up, Shariza. You are being aligned. God is saying, okay, just give it up. Just give up the strong things. Give up the strong opinions. Give up the strong passions. Give up everything. You're probably being aligned. It's a place of silent observation. For the past couple of months in my life, I've had to be silent and wait and silent. Actually, for my life, I've had to be silent and wait, silent and wait. It's a place of contemplation. It's a place where you sit and you wonder, okay, should I do this? Should I reflect? And most importantly, alignment is a place of awestruck encounters with the presence of God. Awestruck encounters. If you are aligned and you're being aligned, you're having encounters with God. You're having encounters with God. Listen to me. Jacob was not in a good place. He was an outlaw in his land. I'm sure there would have been a warrant out for him, wanted person ad out for him, some kind of yellow alert or orange alert out for him, because he had run off and all of that. But what? He was aligned. He was walking according to the purposes of God. God had aligned that purpose for his life. It is a place of awestruck encounters with the presence of God and activation. So that's your alignment, your assignment. Your assignment, according to the dictionary, according to Google Dictionary at least, is a task or piece of work allocated to someone as part of a job or a course of study. That's your assignment. It's a job that you have to do. This is my meaning, and this is where I've lived and where I continue to live and where God wants me to live. Your assignment on the earth, it's the thing that you were specifically created to do. There are many things that you will do, but I believe that each person is assigned to a specific task to accomplish in their lifetime. A specific task. God may give you additional tasks. You understand? Okay, so if you're a baker, you're working in a bakery, and your job description, your JD is just decorating wedding cakes. That's your job. That's your assigned task. You get paid to do that. They may ask you to decorate a birthday cake. That's something additional. They may ask you to help mix some batter. That's something additional. They may ask you to make some make an ice cream cake. That's something additional. But your assignment is that major thing you were created to do. And many times we get caught up with little things and little projects, and we lose focus on the real assignment in our lives. Now, the assignment is this specific task that we must accomplish in our lifetime. It may be done in increments, so it may be done in little pieces and stop, and little pieces and stop. It may be multi-dimensional. I know there are some of you that your assignment is, oh, you have so many things to do while you are doing, you may work in a bakery, but you may be called to own a bakery. You may be hosting baking courses. You may have been called to do a baking channel. You may have been called to write a baking book or decorating book. I don't know, but it's multidimensional. Your assignment may involve collaboration with others. It may involve collaboration with others. It is the thing that will bring you into a place of influence. And here's what, this is the thing I love. It will bring you into a place of influence, but it will bring accolades to God. It must bring accolades to God. You know, I'm preparing to do an inner healing workshop. And some of the things that I have coming up later this year with women and with different parts of people in the country. And God has been speaking to me about me. And God has been, He's been speaking to me about my alignment, my assignment. And, God said to me, Marsha, this thing that you do here, now coming to minister every Friday night or whenever you see a video, for the past couple of months, it has come through much pain. It has come through sometimes much physical turmoil, sometimes mentally. It took a lot for me to get here. It took a lot for me to get here physically. And I would just come and I would sit and I'd smile and I'll just wear my makeup and I'd be happy, because this is the thing I was called to do. And there may have been times when I would have doubted myself. And I did it through the doubt. I did it through the bad reviews. I did it through the criticism. I did it through, God said to me, and I'm speaking this to someone out there. I really specifically wanted to share this little part about alignment and assignment. And God said to me, He said, Marsha, remember when you were a little girl, you never spoke a lot. I didn't speak a lot. But everything that I did, I had a voice in my head. There was a voice in my head talking to someone, explaining to them what I was doing. There was a voice in my head speaking and sharing with people. Hi guys, you see how I come on every Friday night? Hi guys, this is Apostle Marsha Pedro. How are you all doing? There was a voice inside of me that was saying those words. There was a voice inside of me that was making content. There was a voice inside of me that was speaking to someone and encouraging them. There was a voice inside of me, and the voice never spoke. It never came out. And God said to me, He said, Marsha, that's the voice. That's the thing I created you to do. And I'm saying to someone right now, you may have fallen physically. I see you, Ree. I see you, Shariza. I see you, Lola. I see you, Dion. I see everyone on tonight. I see you, Rashida. And God said to me, He said, Marsha, this is the thing I've called you to do. And I have been aligning and realigning. I've been aligning and realigning. I've been refining and I've been transforming you. And God said, now I will continue to align you. And you're doing your assignment. And I want you to know that you are being aligned. Is it perfect? No. Am I going to get some criticism? Yes. Am I going to get some discomfort at times? Yes. Do I get writer's block sometimes? Um, do I miss out on the time? Yes. Do I am not perfect, but you know what? I'm doing the thing I was called to do. So I want you to know that you just need to press. You just need to, and even if you haven't found that thing, hey, come on, continue logging on. Come on. Continue trusting God. Come on, continue going to the services or going to the churches or the place of worship that you go to. Continue pushing, continue pressing, because God has called you for that thing. Millions of people around the world waited to see a 4.5 minute wonder. What about when you start manifesting? What about when you are rightly aligned? Think about the influence you will have when you start doing the thing God has called you to do. So, as I was speaking about, I was writing about alignment because I sit in my office or my room or my table, wherever I am. I'm sitting and I'm writing, typing today about alignment. And I just started to cry because the words that I write are exactly what God says to me. And He says, Marsha, this is the place you've been in for the past 25 years, and more so there was an acceleration for the past 5 months. So the Lord is just saying to someone, hold on. You are being aligned for your assignment. Your voice will come forth. All right, so let me explain a few dynamics in the alignment process. You see, Apostle Marsha, or emotional, that's okay. uh, let me explain a few dynamics in the alignment process. It begins at birth. And I spoke to you about a little girl. I was the little girl who made deposit slips with, and I would cut the exercise book, the writing book, the file pages, the copy books. I would write $500. I would write $600, and I would fasten it at the end of the paper, and I would use my mother's head pins, and I would put it in the drawer of her Singer sewing machine. Those were the deposit slips. And that was God aligning me for my assignment when I worked in a financial institution. Unfortunately, it was very difficult when my mother put her hand in the drawer and she got stuck with head pins, right? But from a child, I was making deposit slips because what? That was my assignment. God was aligning me for my assignment. Did I get licks or did I get punishment? Yeah, for those who may not understand licks, punishment. Of course, I got punishment. Or what did I do? The following day, I just went back and made more deposit slips until one day that alignment and assignment matched up, and I actually really did deposit slips. And up to today, actually, I do deposit slips. So it happens at birth. It happens at birth. Moses was a child who was given up at birth. Did you have a difficult birth situation? You may be a mommy, and you may have a child who has a difficult birth, who came forth in much pain, and or who gave trouble when they were born, or we say trouble, right? But it's really not trouble. I am ready to deliver some people today who are still angry at their parents because of their rejection issues. I am ready to help some people get delivered today who are still angry at their parents because of the rejection issues. Your papa and mama were only instruments used by God to facilitate your arrival on the earth. That's it. That's it. They were the instruments used by God. Moses was taken out of his natural tribe where he would have grown quite comfortably and placed into a tribe where he would learn how to govern. Where he would learn to govern. You see, for some of you, your realignment or your alignment or your adjustment in this season it's seemingly painful, but it really is not. I don't know how many of you have been to a chiropractor, but I've been to a chiropractor many, 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 many times. I've been to a chiropractor quite a few times. And what he does is he says, lie on your back or your side, and then he puts something on your he positions your body in a certain way. And you hear a loud pop. You hear a loud pop, but you know what? After the loud pop, you feel immense relief. You feel it is never intended that you are discomforted. It's never intended that a bone is broken. But you know what? Because of it's the fact that it's something new, it's something different. In your mind, you may perceive thing is going to be painful. And it's the same thing with some of your realignments in this season. There are some of you who are being prepared for leadership, and God is aligning you, but you just want to walk in the park. You just want to walk in the park instead of an office on Wall Street. Let me say that again. There are some of you who are being prepared for leadership, and God is aligning you, but you just want to walk in the park instead of an office on Wall Street. You need to understand that God will put you and He will align you and realign you in some uncomfortable places so that you can meet some influential faces. Come on. He's going to put me in some uncomfortable places so I will meet some influential faces. He's going to cause my voice to echo in some homes where there is no hope so that I will meet some influential faces. Listen to me. Today, the Lord visited me and the Lord sent 2 angels into my office and He said, "This is your assignment, Marsha, for the rest of your life." He gave me 2 assignments, and you do this and you do this, and that's it. And do you know what? That's my assignment. I'm comfortable doing it. I'm happy doing those 2 things. And those are the 2 things I will do. Will there be other things? Yes, I will be a mother, I will be a wife, I will be a sister, I will be an auntie, I will be a teacher, but those are not my base, my foundation, my great assignments. He gave me those 2 assignments, and you need to find that. So one of the dynamics of the alignment process is it begins at birth. The next thing is it can put you in a place of isolation. If there's anyone who can have a real reason to abort the mission, is Joseph. We know Joseph in the Bible, right? You see, Joseph went from being in a place of free and well-favored to a place of imprisoned and forgotten. To a place of imprisoned and forgotten. You know, when I first fell, in October of last year, I felt, okay, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning. My foot is going to be good. I'm going to walk again. And we're going to be perfect, right? So it's just going to be on the road. And the next day I got up and I realized my foot was not cooperating with my mind and the rest of my body. So I stayed in bed. And then that Sunday morning, it was the first Sunday morning in a very long time, probably since COVID, I had actually stayed home from church. And I was like, whoa. And, and then there were other times when I just could not come, but I knew that I had an assignment on the following Friday night. Regardless of how much my foot did not want to cooperate, regardless of how many painkillers I had to take, regardless of the fact that I just could wear nice shorts, but I needed to wear flip-flops and drag into the studio. That was my assignment. But what happened? The enemy would say to me every single week, when you're going up the steps to the church, it's going to be painful. And what can happen is a minor tear in your ligament can become a larger tear. And this can cause you to collapse, and this can cause your small bones to break, and you're at an age where you don't want bones breaking, and this can cause this and this. And listen, he tried to put me in a place of isolation. You see, Joseph went from being in a place of being free and well-favored to a place of being imprisoned and forgotten, to a place of being free and well-favored. I actually went to a place of knowing everyone in my congregation and walking around and speaking to every single person, to a place of just going on crutches from my bedroom to my bathroom to the kitchen. My bedroom to the bathroom to the kitchen. I tell people I probably spent 86% of my Christmas day on my bed physically. And it was also an attempt of the enemy to isolate me. But let me tell you something. When you snap out of that place, you come out of that place, there's a certain wisdom and diplomacy that God needed to birth in Joseph that could only come forth in prison. I want someone to know this evening there's a certain wisdom and diplomacy, there's a certain P word, patience and peace that God needed to birth in Marsha Pedro that could have only come forth in that bedroom, in that place of seeming isolation. I'm telling you that even if you feel you have been placed in a prison for this season, hold on. Stacy, hold on. I want someone to say, I will be holding on. Hold on. You are not in a prison. Hey, you're not in a prison. You're not on pause. You listen, you're not in the parking lot. You're not pushed aside. You are not. God is doing something. Yes, Rihanna, you have no choice. You're holding on. You and AJ. Gail, you're holding on. You are holding on. Let me tell you something. Joseph was favored of his father and boasted about his dreams. Your alignment process will take your pride and help you see the promises of God. Your alignment process will take your pride and help you see the promises of God. Help you see the promises of God. I remember this New Year's Eve, for those who know it as that, or Old Year's Night. It was the first time in many years of my life that I came to church with what did I wear? Did I wear sneakers? I either wore sneakers or flip flops, and I wore jeans. Because usually on that night we would dress up and wear our best and wear makeup and all of that. I just came and I sat and I just wore simple. Well, I wore a top and a pair of jeans, and I had to have my foot folded up and put a sock in it and all of that. Your alignment process will take your pride and help you see the promises of God. Trust me, we all have some level of pride. Marsha Pedro, I don't have a middle name, okay? Marsha Pedro, have some level of pride. The ones that I admit, the ones I will not admit, the ones that I see, the ones that I can't see, but God knows. God knows. Joseph would not have been a tough political and military leader if he grew up under the pampering of his father. He would have been shielded from every responsibility and would have never known the rigors of the outside world. In the prison of processing, God sometimes allows you to get a small breakthrough and waits to see your response. He allows you to get a small breakthrough and he waits to see your response. I remember I went to a doctor and he says, okay, well, all you need to do is get 3 steroid injections on your ankle. I was like, oh, okay, sure. I'll wait till Jesus heals me because I did not want those injections, right? And eventually I did them, and he said by next week you should be up and about. You'd be making ham and sorrel, and you'd be having a wonderful Christmas, doing all your housework. Just rest for me for 4 days. Leave your ankle, it's going to pain. Leave it wrapped up. Don't get any water for 24 hours. Don't go swimming. Don't do anything. Rest. And for 4 days, you're going to, and listen to me, I rested, I did everything. And after the 4 days, I took off the Band-Aid, I did whatever. And you know what? The pain was there. The pain was still there. Many of you have stayed in a place, God, in the prison of processing, God sometimes allows you to get a small breakthrough and he waits to see your response. That was my small breakthrough. Many of you have stayed in a place of drizzle and not advanced into the place of showers of God. You've stayed in the place of drizzle. You've stayed in the place of drizzle. Joseph was in an elevated position when he was wrongfully accused of making advances to the master's wife. How many of us have been wrongfully accused? How many of us have been misjudged, misinterpreted, misquoted, miss everything? Even though he chose righteousness, his ultimate destination was demotion. That's okay. We're being aligned. If you got demoted in this season, that's okay. We're being aligned. No, Joseph's posture after he was accused, he did not respond. He did not retaliate. He did not cry that God has forsaken him. He simply yielded to the process. In your alignment for the assignment, there are times when God will not allow you to be vindicated. He will not allow you. Listen, I had this great imagination that I would go into the service, and at the strike of midnight, you will just hear bones cracking, crick, crick. Although none of my bones were broken, but I just had this wonderful imagination. We would hear ligaments snapping together, snap, 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 and that my ligaments will be snapped back together, and everything would be perfect, and I would just be jumping. And it didn't happen. It did not happen. Many times, God will not allow you to get away that easily. Many of you have tried to defend yourself instead of asking God, why did He allow this thing to happen? Why, God, did you allow my spouse to die? Why did you allow my child to be imprisoned? Why did you allow me to lose my job? Why did you allow it? Maybe there are consequences of your action, or maybe God wants you to learn something. Many have concluded that God has forsaken them because they were demoted, yet others will get into some spiritual warfare because they are certain that there is a spirit hindering their progress. Let me give you another story. I know my 45 minutes time, but you know what? I'm free. Let's go a little over, right, Dion? You just hear this story. Hear this story. I want to tell you about it. I want to tell you about this. Many get into some spiritual warfare because they are certain that there is a spirit hindering their process. I was speaking to a wonderful spiritual daughter of mine, and she said to me, she said, Mom, she calls me Mom. She says, Mom, I got this prophetic word from this person. She had experienced an immense breakthrough. I consider it an immense breakthrough. I walk with my children. I walk with God's people. And when they break through, I break through. When they cry, I cry. They may not necessarily know that I'm crying, or they may not necessarily know that I'm laughing, but I'm doing it. And she got this breakthrough, and she got something, and someone sent her a prophetic word. No weapon formed against you will prosper, my dear. How many? None. How many? None. Nothing would. And I mean, my child went to okay, she got a job. My child went to work. My child was happy. My child was like taking selfies. My child was learning as much as she could, and fix her hair and fix her wig and all of that. And then someone sent her this message. I said to her, nothing. I said nothing. She said, Ma, I got it. I said, listen, okay, let's just leave it alone. And then I put down it was WhatsApp. I put down the phone, or maybe I was talking to her, I don't know. And I went back, and the Lord said to me, there are no giants in her land, but the enemy wants her to raise up a defense. Go back now and tell her there are no giants to look out for. Sometimes there's a clear path. Go back and tell your child there's a clear path. Sometimes we get into unnecessary spiritual warfare. And my child would have said, okay, well, someone gave me this word. Let me see. Let me go. Shababakataya. Or I need to fast. Or I need to look out. Maybe my supervisor is, maybe that security who spoke to me is, maybe when I'm walking in, there are people who want to snatch my handbag. No, maybe. Philippians 4:8, go think on those things. There is a clear path before you. And if there's anything that is wrong, if there's anything that is unrighteous, God will protect you or allow you to walk through. He will either protect you or allow you to walk through. So there's nothing hindering your progress. I told my child, I said, listen to me, the enemy wants to bring in your imagination. There are giants in your land, and there are no giants. God says you've walked into your season of breakthrough. You've walked into a clear place. Now go and have dominion and take your authority. All right. So sometimes alignment looks like we're in a place of isolation. Sometimes, and this is my last point, alignment looks like we're starting over, and that's okay. I recently had to retrain my right foot how to walk again because some things went a bit off. I mean, I learned to walk over 40 years ago, but something shifted in my life and I need to relearn. And I was walking twisted and I was walking bent, and nah. When you have an injury, you try to walk to compensate. Initially, I was not even walking on the right leg. And I had to relearn this, and it was difficult. Do you know, I had forgotten the walking process. I'd forgotten my foot. I was tilting it like this. I'd forgotten that you need to walk like this, and you walk like this: ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, and I needed to start over, and that was a challenge. That was a challenge. But you know what? I did it. I did it. My instructor helped me. I did it in the pool. I did it. I tried it. I practiced it. She said, today you're not going to shift. Today you're going to do it straight. You're going to do it right. You're going to do it very slowly. And you know what? I did it. I did it. Ruth was one of such persons who needed to literally disconnect and plant herself in a different culture. And understand, sometimes alignment for our assignment means planting ourselves in a different culture. The book of Ruth speaks of a woman who came from a very colorful lineage. In the modern day, we would have scoffed at her and her line. Ruth was a Moabitess. She came from the line of Moab, and she was the product of an incestuous relationship with Lot and his daughter. So we understand that Ruth had a tinge to her name. But you know what? Ruth knew that her assignment was not in Moab. She knew she needed to realign so that she could impact the world. She knew that she needed to realign because there was a lineage, and she was going to get into that place that God had called her to. So Ruth married an Israelite in hopes of having her children redeemed their honor. She hoped that. But perhaps she wanted a clean start. She wanted a new name. So she married the young men. Naomi's sons. Regardless, her husband died. And as a matter of fact, all the males in her family died. Some of you are at this juncture in your life. Every familiar person and thing has died, and the place of comfort is calling you back to yesterday. Every familiar person and thing has died, and the place of comfort is calling you back to yesterday. I will not let you go back to yesterday. If you know me, you're part of my life. If you know me and you're part of my circle, if you know me and you listen to me every Friday night, or you listen to my videos on the replay, I decree and I declare that you are not going back to yesterday. You are straightening up your feet as best as you can, and you're walking forward. The place of purpose is calling you into tomorrow, but it's not a familiar place, and you have no promised comfort. There's also no game plan. There's no game plan. Many times with our assignment, many times we think God is our project manager. We think that God is my project manager. I get a prophetic word, and I want him to give us a detailed outline. Okay, God, when are we going to start the project? When are we going to, you want him to give us a detailed outline. Okay, my foot, it's the steroids, it will take 4 days. Okay, on the 5th day, will I be able to get up again and make those pastels? Will I be able to get up again and do some bench press? Will I be able to walk and make my 10,000 steps? Come on, God, let's bump. No, God is not your project manager. It does not work like that. Ruth had the choice of walking with Naomi or staying in her home. She chose to go with her mother-in-law. Of course, this just paved the way to meeting Boaz and beautifully finding her way in the lineage of the Messiah. Ruth manifested her purpose and demonstrated the influence that God called her to do. She did her assignment. Sometimes the alignment for your assignment takes you in an unknown path, but guess what? It's worth the journey. I want you to take time after we're finished, after you're finished here, after you're finished on the replay, and really ask God to show you the thing He has called you to do. Ask Him to show you His requirements, not your requirements. Many of us start off with God and then add some cushions because we're too tired. We add a pop of color because it's too boring. And then it becomes our assignment, not His. The world, the earth, and all of heaven is waiting for you to align and accomplish the thing that you were created to do. Will you answer the Lord today? Will you say yes? Will you align to His assignment? I hope you enjoyed this evening, and I hope to see you all on again, listening next time. I decree and I declare that your assignment is being made clear, and I decree and I declare that your alignment is very swift. Until my next video, until my next broadcast, this is Apostle Marsha Pedro saying, live your life with passion. Live your life in pursuit of Him.